Yes, good morning, everybody. What a great sneak peek party. I liked it. This morning, for this first panel, we really wanted to introduce you, to tell you some people stories, people supporting their PXM project among their organizations. PXM is all about people, process, technology. People is first, always first. And yesterday, Fred, in his opening keynote, said it. Great product experiences bring great people together. So I'm happy today to have great people on stage with me from two different companies, Akeneo customers. First, Amélie from Kering. Amélie Frias from Kering. Yes, you can come, Amélie. Benoît and Margot from Call Me Open. Welcome on stage. Welcome, Amélie. Welcome, Benoît. Welcome, Margot. You can sit. Thanks for coming, telling your story. That's inspiring stories to me. I choose you. I really wanted you to tell your great stories. Amélie, we're going to start with you today. So you work for Kering. I don't know if everybody is familiar with Kering. That's one of the major luxury group in the world, gathering brands like Yves Saint Laurent, Gucci, Alexander McQueen, if I'm not wrong. Right. And so, Amélie, please tell us, how did your journey at Kering started? A long time ago.
A long time ago, exactly. I was a young diplomee from a trade school in 21, so a long time ago. And I joined Yves Saint Laurent as a junior product manager, so in charge in the merchandising team, product team, to develop collection. So I did this job, different levels, for about 10 years. And then they started to work on the e-commerce project. Mm-hmm. The project was 2 years late. So they decided to reorganize the team. And they asked me if I was interested to join this team to work on merchandising, so e-merchandising, okay. For the launch of the worldwide website. Okay. We did this. We changed platform. We went to Yux Net-a-Porter for 7 years. And then Kering made the decision to internalize their platform. So this is the Eagle project to see here.
Yes.
Which started 5 years ago.
Okay, when we met, by the way. Exactly. I was the business consultant working with you at that time, back 5 years ago. So first, you started to work only for a brand of the group, Yves Saint Laurent, and then this project happened. And you told me when we were preparing that you were pretty familiar with what a PIM was, working for Yves Saint Laurent, but you mentioned to me a siloed PIM. Did that motivate you to join a major project, learning from that, the failures, the mistakes you made in the past, not you especially, but implementing the PIM for a brand?
Yeah, sure. So we were in Yux Net-a-Porter at that time, and the way they were working was one tool equal one mission, so quite heavy. Mm-hmm. And the second thing is they were managing 80 brands, so when they were developing a new feature for one of the brands, they were not sharing it with the other brands on the platform. So one of the first things was, I want all the brands to be on the same level and to benefit from any new advantage or feature we develop.
Okay, so that definitely motivates you to make sure that you can make everybody benefit from common features, common best tips, best practices. You wanted to help evangelize, in a way, among the brands. So you were a favorite choice. I mean, it was easy for you to get the job, I guess, at that Kering level group.
Yes, so I was at Saint Laurent for about 18 months. I was full-time Saint Laurent plus half-time Kering on this project, partly on digital merchandising, so mainly on the PIM, mm-hmm. and also on other subjects like OMS pre-orders or
yeah, others. That's often what we hear from our customers. When you launch a project, most of the time we underestimate the workload to handle such projects, so you did both. Your work in merchandising, plus jumping on your new project, building all the foundation, right?
Right. And naturally, I decided to join Kering when we started to really build the PIM.
Okay. And so now you are full-time caring since that time.
Exactly.
And you will tell us more in a few minutes. So now I'd like to come to you, Margot. So you work for Call Me Open, a company. You will tell me, what is Call Me Open doing? What is that company?
Thank you, Virginie. Hello, everyone. I am Margot. So, Call Me Open is a French manufacturer of single-use product equipment, such as masks, gloves, and coveralls for the medical and industrial sectors. Call Me Open is a part of Global Medicom Group. And as you can imagine, we have experienced a strong acceleration of our activity during the COVID.
Yes, we can imagine that.
Yes, the French state requisitioned our production, and we had the visit from the President Emmanuel Macron also.
So
I think
that's
you can
that
see.
picture, Margot,
Yeah.
right? Emmanuel Macron came to your factory. So it's located in Angers, in west of France. And how many companies in France were able to produce masks at that time, during COVID time? 4, I guess, something like that. It was only 4. And Call Me was so chosen by the state to produce masks only for the government and for, yeah, okay. So that's how it started, Margot. And how did your journey at Call Me started? How did you discover Call Me? I know that you started as a working student, right?
Not exactly as a working student. I stopped my studies for years to travel all over the world, and when I came back, the COVID happened. So I wanted to work and I wanted to help. Call Me Open was looking for people. So I have started to manufacture some masks. But
It's you.
it's me.
It's you during the pandemic manufacturing masks. Okay, so you started manufacturing masks.
But I wanted also to go on my studies, and I apply internally for a working student contract in the marketing department. And during 2 years, I did a master degree in project management, and my main role was to support the PIM project for Call Me Open.
That's, I think, an amazing story. So she came back from that travel, COVID happened, they needed workforce, you applied, you started to manufacture the mask, and then you just asked if they would be willing to hire you to do that working job student for a marketing project, because they had a marketing project in mind, right? And so Benoit, just near you, arrived in the company. You joined Call Me, Benoit, at that time.
Yes.
So tell us how it was. So you arrived, for which position? And so Margot was already there.
Yes, exactly. When I joined the company 2 years and a half, something like that. So Margot was already there, and she was looking to work on something, on project and stuff like that. And after a quick audit, I first realized that all the product information in the company were everywhere, in different places, and absolutely not accurate. So for me, at the beginning, a PIM was really an obvious solution, especially because in my previous job, I already used to work on a PIM. It was not Akeneo.
You don't have
But
to say
I
that.
don't have to
Benoit.
say.
We say that
Anyway.
you don't have to. Forget that. Up.
Exactly. And also because I'm from Nantes, it was Akeneo was also, yes, of course,
Local.
local.
Yeah.
And so after this, PIM was really obvious, and we decided with Margot to start this project. And it was very important for us because, as Margot explained, we are selling masks, gloves, stuff like that, but we are working on a very regulated market. So medical device, personal protective equipment. So meaning regulation and quality is very important in fact, on this product. And product information is also very important.
Yeah, you sell more than just products. You sell really security services all around the products.
Yes,
Your
exactly.
customers need to make sure that you comply with all the rules and so on.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so the PIM project started. Let's build the foundation. Margot, so you become responsible of that PIM project. What was your main mission first?
As we have already mentioned, Call Me Open is a part of the Global Medicom Group. So it was clear from the beginning that this PIM project was a pilot project in Europe for a future integration of Medicom. This is one of the main goals, but we have also some main goals regarding to our customers and our internal teams. We wanted to reduce the dependence on Excel and make processes enrichment better, thanks to PIM Akeneo. And we wanted also respond to distributors' needs and improve a B2B experience.
Okay, so you really wanted to help to enhance the way your sales managers could offer the products that you sell to your distributors, right? So Benoit, can you tell us more about how important is that in your business area for the sales?
As I told you, in fact, yes, we are not selling only product. We are not selling only finished product. We are really selling quality insurance. So quality insurance, meaning behind the product, behind a mask, we need to release a lot of report, a lot of assets, in fact, to our customers in order to ensure we are selling the good quality and the good product. So for us, it was really clear that behind the PIM, also the shared catalog was really the best solution in order that we can release all the product, data, attributes, but also all the different assets on a global pack, I would say, to our customers. But our customers, at the beginning, we said, yes, it was external customers, but we realized especially that the main customer we have are the internal customers, in fact. Because we realize in a quality lab, we have our own laboratories, we have our supply department, we have all the sales administration for like every companies. And in fact, every time they were looking all the same information, we are selling to the customers, in fact. So at the end, we realized that all this information was more useful for internal customers also than external customers.
Yeah, because you told me that it could take like sometimes weeks for them to get the right information. They needed one piece of information from one department, from one another, and the time they get all the information, it definitely,
the deal is done.
Increase the time to market in a way. Yes, okay, so that's what's your main concern in mind. We continue the story a bit after. I'd like to know, Amélie, on your side, so when you joined that Keyring project, part of the group now, what was your first main missions?
The first mission, we did it together. It was a product life cycle. We did it not every time together, but I did it, I think, 5 times to make sure we were covering everything. So we start from the first thing, and for us in fashion, the first step is a sketch. So we have this sketch, then we have different steps until the showroom.
That's schema that you shared with me, yes.
And all these steps are not like very logic for everyone. We made a game with this slide, and we asked people from the brands to put them in the right order, and they almost all failed, because there are so many steps that it's quite complicated to make sure that you cover all of them. The idea was to make sure that every time the product is live, what will happen? So you have a sketch, then you go online, you have a showroom, you sell it, it creates code, it creates queue. All these steps, we have to cover them. Of course, at one point, we have to go online, but for us, the project was not only to have products sold online, it was an omni-channel project with different steps. So we cover everything until, I would say, the death of the product. Either because the product is sold out, so great death, you don't have stock anymore, but also you can have it marked down, you can have it send it to outlet, and best case scenario for us employee, you can have it in employee server.
So your main mission was really to understand the product life cycle, to wonder how you could make that easier, better processes, ease the processes. That's what it is. And so you had, of course, the Yves Saint Laurent in mind. And how did you envision working the several brands? How did you make sure? Because when we met, that was the concern 5 years ago. Should we have, to be very concrete, one PIM for each brand? Or can we gather all the brands in one PIM? So how did you take the decision?
So for us, we had 2 points that were important. First, all the brands are kids of Gucci. So at the end, we all are in the same ERP, which is helping a lot.
That helps.
And the second point is that all the brands we are managing on this platform were on the previous platform together. So they were already used to work together and on the same tools. So it helped a lot. And then when Kering decided to internalize their platform, they decided to do it in 3 steps. So the first step was really omnichannel because it was to start to sell from store. Imagine you are in Italy and you are in Bologna. You go to the store, the YSL store, you have only women accessories, but maybe you want women ready-to-wear, or maybe you are a man and you want to have men's clothes. They are able to buy it through the tablet for you. So that was the first step. And it was very important at that time because 5 years ago, retail stores were like, e-commerce, you are the ones stealing us our customers. We don't like you. So it was the first step to explain them, no, we are not stealing you to customer, we are sending customer to your stores. Then we started to work on the platform. PIM was the first step because without product you cannot test the other environments. And to test this, we organized some employee cell. And believe me, a YSL employee cell for all Kering employees, thousands of people, it's a great step to check everything.
Yeah, we can imagine that. Okay.
And then we went to the first step, which was going live with this website.
And so, Amélie, you told me, and I remember that, I'm in change management. That's what we are going to talk about, making sure that every stakeholders among the brands will follow you in that project, will adopt this new way of working. Once you have decided defining the new processes, that was key. And I remember that you organized what you call e-com days. 2 main ones happen during a year. And I remember the first one when you launched the PIM project, you invited us, but we could not because it was Akeneo Unlock at the same moment. So can you talk to us about these e-com days and what do you do during these days?
So e-com days are events where we invite not only people from e-commerce teams from each brand, but also other people impacted by the project. So it's
product information.
In product information, yes. So it's not only 1,000 of people from each brand, it's hundreds of people. And if we come back to the fact that the first step was omnichannel with stores, it's thousands of people in the group that have been impacted with this project. So e-com days is a great way to communicate to a wider audience of what is happening on the project. At the beginning, it was really, are we on time to be ready to launch when we scheduled in June 2019? And since we are live, now it's more to manage the roadmap. But we also have dedicated session. On the picture you see on the screen, we had a full afternoon dedicated to sustainability. We had some executive committee members who come to talk about it. And then we had some corners to see how we can be more sustainable in each level: ops, product, finance.
What is interesting here is that so the steering committee is aware of these days. They participate to these e-com days that are not only anymore only e-com days. And you share all the best practices, the latest features that you're going to launch. So your PX strategy, that's what you share. And what I love is that the steering committee is aware of that. Thanks for sharing that with us, Amélie. On your side, Margot, I'd like to come back to you. How did you spread the word internally to the business user, so mostly to the sales, if I will listen to you? How did you do to launch the project, make them aware of this new way of working for them? How was it?
We had chosen to work by deliverables thanks to shared catalogs. Each catalog represents a product family. To explain, first we had launched a test catalog on our mask product. This one was open to a small internal panel that was the sales teams. And we had organized a training session for them. And after, we had opened 2 additional catalogs, gloves and coveralls, to a larger panel today we have 60K internal users and 15 external users. And now every product launch is announced on share catalogs. If someone wants to find information or a document related to a specific product, they have to go to share catalog.
New place to be. Then where to find the information. What I love and what I keep in mind from what you explained to me is that doing that, as you say, by deliverable, like range by range, is that it helps you accelerate it. Like, this is the first range, you get it, you understand the power of it, how immediate is it, you can benefit from that. If you want more, you know that we have some work on our side, but they get it and they feel like, okay, we want more ranges like that. It's easier for working with our distributors, right?
Yes.
And Benoit, on that point, Margot mentioned, for now, till today, 15 plus external users. And this is something very specific in your business and something that we like among the Akeneo community. Some of you customers, the distributors, are also Akeneo customers. So you are not talking the same language. So you can think about sharing kind of information, same information. Did that help your decision in working with Akeneo and shared catalog?
Yes, so first we try to talk the same language, at least, not on product, but at least to sell our product. But yes, when we decided to move with Akeneo, to know that we have some customers already using this solution was really a good criteria, especially for the final choice. And now the big challenge we have with our customers and to ensure that both SPIM, both customer Akeneo, supplier Akeneo can really fit together and communicate together. So we are working on it.
Okay, so that's the first step. And I know that some tests are planned to make sure that you can communicate with each other. Amélie, is that something that could be relevant for Keyring too, the way of sharing information like that with your distributor? Is it something that you already use? I mean, do you use the information you build into Akeneo to share that with your distributors?
It's something we have in mind for some of our channels, yes.
Okay, but you already use this information? Okay,
Yes,
okay. You don't want to tell me more because I know you are thinking about next solution, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And now, Amélie, I'd like to talk with you about the benefits. I mean, the internal benefits of using that. When you mentioned the e-com days, you also told me that it's a great opportunity for other departments that were probably not involved in the first scope to discover, like, okay, Amélie, probably we could also benefit from that, or we could use also Akeneo for that. And that has created new way of working, additional value to that. Can you give us example?
Right. So during the e-com days, we have a half day dedicated to corners, like you did at the beginning of the afternoon yesterday. And we do present the last feature, or the one that will go live soon, with a very large audience. So the example I will use is merge management. I'm pretty sure that all of you here face the same issue. You have one product, but you have stock under different codes for any reason. For us, it could be because the L in the logo of YSL is not straight enough. So we have stock under different code. And it's an issue to sell online because it's going to generate 2 product detail pages. If you are used to buy at Zara app, you have often this issue. And you don't understand where you see this. It's not a big issue, I would say, if it's a bag, because it's only one SKU, so it's one product page. You sell your one stock. When you are sold out, you switch to the other product page, detail page. But when you are talking about shoes, sneakers, you cannot have 2 product pages, one selling 3 sizes and the other one selling the 4 other sizes. If you have only one page, you miss sales, because you are selling only 3 sizes and the other ones are not sell, so it's an issue. We developed a feature to merge the stock and have only one product detail page. So initially, it was for one brand and only for e-commerce. Developing it, we realized that it was useful also for other brands, and not only for e-commerce, but also for retail. Because when you are a customer, often you go to the website before going to the store, and previously, you were saying, oh, I'm going to Montaigne this afternoon. Let's see if this Balenciaga sneakers is in stock at Montaigne. And the website was telling you, I'm sorry, we don't have stock in Montaigne, because the stock in Montaigne was in another code that was not on your website. Now, with this new feature, you are able to reserve in store and find in store the full stock. So we are increasing the turnover online and increasing the turnover in store. That was the first step. When we presented this feature at the Ecom Days, we had different services who came and said, we would like to use it. For example, customer service. There are people answering on the phone to the customers. Knowing that they can help and retrieve the data on another code is helpful. But more important, we have people from stores who came saying, but we don't have this information anywhere. And at the end, Akeneo is the only tool we have in Caring where you can put this information and keep it for long, because we have many tools where you put the information, but it's erased every season.
This is really interesting. We are really in the employee experience, deep in it, because people figure out that, hey, I should definitely benefit from that. And even for you, it's really rewarding, because what you have built, what you have invested your energy in, is useful for a lot of people, and they see you like the internal god, right? So no, that's really rewarding. I love that story. I mean, thanks for sharing that, because it's really about opening their people's mind, opening the eyes that we could benefit much more. So I really love that.
We solved an issue, because people
were... solved an issue.
We solved an issue, and not only this issue, is because at the beginning they were following blindly a list of products, thinking they were exactly the same, but some were real twins, so it was okay to merge the stock, but some were fake twins. Maybe the logo was smaller, and as long as the product is the same, it's okay to have this feature. But when you begin to have little changes that the final customer will see, you cannot use this feature. And in the PIM, we have a dedicated comment section to say, fake twin cannot merge the stock because the logo is not the same size.
I love that name of fake twin. But yeah, and you are solving a stock issue, not necessarily what you first think about, thinking of a PIM implementation. So you are already really in the product cloud. So that's really what I like with that feature, Amélie. On your side, Margot, how do you keep employees happy to work with Akeneo, your sales guys? They looked happy yesterday evening, because the funny things, and I like that story, Margot and Benoit invited also some of their sales users yesterday evening. You wanted them also because they are your key users, your key stakeholders. They also wanted to discover Akeneo, so you invited them. So that was great. So how do you keep them happy?
To accompany the change, we set up a graphic charter around the project and several means of communication. For all users, we send tips and tricks to help them use the features, or a newsletter to announce a novelty. You can see
that's amazing.
On the slide, I think.
Yeah, we see. So that's a kind of emailing? Is it a newsletter? How do you send them that?
For the
tips and tricks. Tips and tricks. Is it a kind of
or
emailing?
A newsletter?
Okay, that's a newsletter. Yes, and then
tips and tricks.
Yes, and you also create some short videos. So I won't launch it, but just to show that you create video, you invest energy into that. So they have short videos to explain how to use that in Share Catalog, right? Right. And the other thing, Margot, that you share with me, can you talk to us about the monthly reports that you have created, please?
For the steering committee, I send a progress report. I analyze the planning and the deviation, the completeness rate, the data quality, and I focus a part on share catalogs with some KPIs.
That's, you say that like that, Margot, but with Amélie, we were like, that's amazing what you are building. We are thinking about that too, you know, with Akeneo, we are building that too, but you have already done that. Really, you did an amazing job. And so you share that with the steering committee so that they can follow and know what it is about and the impact it has on your business. To me, that's amazing, I tell you. And that's the kind of monthly report. So it's really deep in details, and you share that on a monthly basis, so that I love that. And yeah, a lot of things, Margot, that you shared with me. That's really, you dedicate your time on supporting that project, evangelizing it internally. So to finish our conversation, I'd like to know what are your next milestone, challenge for you, Margot, at Colmi?
The next step is a global opening,
Global expansion.
global
of the project.
expansion with Medicom. We would like also to finish integration with the opening with new catalogs. And we would like also automate our print catalog and our website.
Yeah, that's amazing. So what you said at the beginning, Benoit, is that your project was a kind of pilot project for Europe.
Yeah, exactly. It was a choice because, of course, we share all the KPI to our main staff, but because they are the sponsor of this project. So we have to ensure that the money they put in this project, we have also a return for investment. It makes sense. And especially because Europe was really the base, the pilot, I would say maybe the sandbox sometimes, of this project. And now we would like to leverage in the two main big regions we have in Medicom, North America and in South Asia. So now we are discussing with North America, also with the integrator we have, so EasyCom, who also work with us on this Akeneo, and to continue also to leverage this solution in North America.
So you will also manage the America project yourself with EasyCom?
We are in a transition. They have to do it by themselves, but they like to be accompanied the American, so for the beginning.
Yeah, but you will definitely help them adopt it, and you have been there, you know the steps they have to go through, so you can definitely share your best practices with them.
Yeah.
That you will be keystones into that path. I'd like to finish with your personal employee experience. Amélie, so again, I've met you 5 years ago. What would you say that project has personally brought to you? What have you learned, probably? What have you loved? What do you less like, probably, in that project?
It changed my life. You know, I was working for Yves Saint Laurent with showrooms. I was going every 6 weeks in showroom or 8 weeks. Showroom means weekends. You work weekends every weekend. With a temporality which is really clear, because you have a temporality of when you buy the collection and the temporality when you put the collection online. Now I'm on the other side of the mirror. At Kering, first I'm the one managing a roadmap. I don't work anymore on weekends. I'm the one who say no. I was the one complaining about the one saying no first in my previous life, but now I understand all the constraints, the roadmap, the hard requirement, all the things that you have on your roadmap and you must do every quarter. The fact that we have not only one brand, but 4 brands. We even have a 5th brand, Brioni, who joined the team last year. So it's just a question of planning. We have this freeze every Christmas. So now I understand all the constraints, and it's better to organize my work.
And probably with your business background, probably it's easier to explain why you have to say no to certain things, I guess, and they trust you, sorry. So I guess that it's probably easier.
Right. So the first thing is that as I worked in the group for 22 years now, I have a big network. So when I want something to change and I need something to change, I know who to contact. Last year we had a stupid problem with US Customs. For ready-to-wear, we were sending a department called Women Ready-to-Wear, Leather and Knit, and subcategory Woven, which has no sense. So we had some issues with US Customs. I called YSL. I say I need production, finance, inventory control, and retail and ops around the table. And I explained the issue. And after 15 minutes, they were like, yeah, you're right. This is an old typology. We use it, but it's not relevant anymore. If it helps all the group and e-commerce with US Customs, yes, let's change the name of the department. And this is something that I think I obtained quickly because I have this network in the group. So definitely, this is something which helps.
That's really a great lesson. Yeah, choosing people like you, knowing a lot of people internally, that's also an important decision, and that's a good choice, definitely. Margot, on your side, so it's been 2 years now. You've won an award yesterday, guys. So I think you did an amazing job with that project. You have already a lot of KPIs to share, metrics. Personally, Margot, what has the PIM project, the PXM project, brought to you?
I didn't imagine the scope of this project after these two years. I'm very happy to work on it and to see the project evolve, and this experience is very rewarding for me from a professional but also a personal point of view.
Yeah, and you told me that now you know also what you want to do. You want to work more on product. So that's also something Benoit helps you work in. And Benoit, I'd love to ask you that question. We are talking about employee experience. It's also about new titles, new jobs. So do you plan to create new titles, to hire new people for the project?
Yes, yes, and I just would like to say that I'm very proud of Margot, and I'm very happy she's in the team.
Yeah.
And after 2 years, she was student, so we decided to keep Margot, and she also decided to stay with us. So we were very happy, and we created a specific job for Margot. It was also new in the company, so it was product content manager.
That's great.
So it never existed before in our company. And now we also to leverage this job in also North America, in Australia. So yes, very good. And, good experience, I think.
Thanks a lot for sharing your journey with us today. Really, I really appreciate your amazing journeys. I hope it was inspiring for you too, thinking about your next project or your extension of the project. Definitely, we have great people among the community. So thanks to all of you for coming today and sharing. See you.